Another trivia. Do we know who these guys? I think he mentioned before. Mohamed Salim, yeah? Famously played for Celtic very, very long time ago. So will he be the only one from India? The one and only? While I was doing research about him, Celtic actually wanted to pay him £1,800 to stay on there. And back in those days, there's a lot of money. A lot of money for an Indian player who played barefoot in the Scottish League. So, pretty interesting. Okay, this guy, Adit Rastogi. Okay, his father came to me about 6 months ago and said, my son likes to play professional football. Can you help him? And I'm sure he's little known, but he played youth level in Singapore, in India. And I don't even know the level of this player. So I said, okay, why don't you come and train with one of the clubs in Singapore and I'll have a look at you. And again, I'm not a football agent. I can pass you on to people who can do the job. So Adit came and trained with us. He had a decent level. So I sent him on to my partners in Italy. He actually signed up with Italy. Parma from Italy that said that, okay, you can come and train with us. But the level of Adit for Parma's youth was not good enough. So they said, okay, why don't we send you on loan to Kaposvár in Hungary? So he actually went to Kaposvár in Italy. He's actually there now. He's actually there now. When I spoke about parents investing in it, his father actually pays for his way there. Pays for his food and accommodation, and he's developing now. And just talking to the coaches a few days ago, from where he started and where he's now has been a big, big improvement. He has to stay alone in Europe. Hungary is a very cold country. Food, he doesn't get his curry. You know, he doesn't get the comfort of the Indian weather. But this boy is determined to make it. And that's what we need to do. India needs to export players, like what Japan did in the early days, so that the top of the pyramid, when Scott O'Donnell was talking about the top of the pyramid, we need more players like that.
I think it's a great initiative to discuss football, because that's what it's all about. I also must say that I have visited many of these workshops and days, and hopefully this one will not end like a lot of them, is that there's no action plan whatsoever after that, because then the money that we spend here, we probably could have built an artificial ground with floodlights for the kids. So hopefully there will be a good plan afterwards. As you know, the national team coach, I'm here in India now, and as I say, I will do everything, as long as I'm in India, to make football progress. There are a lot of good plans. We just heard a lot of things today, but also yesterday, about this should happen, that should happen. We have a plan. And I think the only thing, Nike is our kid sponsor, and they have a beautiful logo. And what is that logo? Just do it. So I think that's where we are. That's where we are. Everybody knows we have looked outside of India, and we have seen all the problems that are in India, but I don't think we should think in problems, we should think in opportunities. And there are loads of opportunities in India. Football is there, football talent is there, but we are just sitting on our hands and don't do anything. Because the kids are here, they play football, but we can develop football in a much better way. Japan is a great example, but they just did it. I was in Japan myself in '98, and I did a coaching course for youth coaches in Japan, and I could see them, they were literally copying everything that we did. I could see that in any exercise that they did, more coaches had been in the country because they didn't know what to do. And then they developed their own skills. And then they didn't need the help of outside anymore, they could do it themselves. Because they just did it. They were Then we can start talking about players going to England or wherever they want to go. Because then the scouts are everywhere in the world, the scouts will visit us, will visit our I-League and say, well, this is a great player, I want him. And I think sometimes when I see a player, when he started young, he might even go to a club abroad. That's possible. That's possible. The talent is here, but we don't work with them properly at the moment. There's a rule, kind of a rule that you need 10,000 of hours of training and match to become a professional player. 10,000. So if you think 52 weeks in a year, let's say if you're a young kid, because that's you start at 5-6 years of age, this tall. Well, if let's say you have one training session a week and maybe one game a week, that's 2 hours. That's a little bit more than 100 hours in a whole year. And you need to go to 10,000. So what will happen when you grow older, you have, instead of one session a week and one game, you have 2 training sessions a week and 1 or 2 games. And when you grow older, you have more training sessions a week, and with good coaching, and then you probably become in the elite pathway, and then you have that huge knock-on effect of 10,000 hours with the best players against the best. You will deliver definitely much better players than we are doing now. So you really have to start from grassroots. That's definitely very important, but we can also start at the top and look at our own I-League and say, what can we improve already? We have spoken, you just mentioned it about play in the evening. Yeah, play in the evening. There were a lot of reasons why to play in the evening. Television, spectators. We play football for the spectators. We don't play football for the birds or for the VIPs. We play football for the fans. We want them to come to the stadium. How can you play Friday afternoon at 3 o'clock when it's 35 or 40 degrees? It's not interesting for the fans, and it's not good for the football players as well, because you will see a horrible game, everybody is walking. It's way too hot to play high intensity football. So when you play in the evening, 7:30, it's still humid, but it's not as hot as during the day. So you can expect a little bit more from your football players, you can expect a little bit more of the quality of the game. And these are things that are just, with one finger click, we can organize them. And it's much better for football. So I think, and Mr. Kushadas is here, Nike is our sponsor, so that logo, I think, should be in everybody's mind now when we talk about changing the game in India, and it starts here already in Goa, and I think the initiative is great. A lot of stuff has happened already in Goa, but we're not there yet. And if people come up off their chairs and say, well, this is a good plan, let's work with it and take action, then we will finally improve football in India. And as long as I'm here, and Mr. Robban is here as well, the technical director, foreigners will always move. One day you will say, bye-bye, Mr. Koevermans, thank you very much. But I hope that something will be done after that, and that you can do it on your own, because there's a lot of good talent, a lot of good coaches in India that can do it, but we really have to make the steps. And again, I say at Nike, just do it.